Hi everyone, Soul17 here. Looks just like usual. I don't own these pictures and preview. Alright, okay, so this is gonna be part 2 of it, the Berserk Armor Naruto. So yeah, just wanna make a heads up. I am technically gonna bring something different. Cause Sasuke, bleh. I don't know why my brain's not working right. I guess because I just woke up. Sasuke, there we go, is going to be basically not going for Orochimaru, but makes a deal with someone else. I'm just gonna say that. But, I mean, it's gonna be kind of a good deal for her, at least. She gets stronger, but then she's also gonna stay in the village. But, the whole entire retrieval arc for, Sasuke. Sasuke basically, or Sasuke. Like I said, I just woke up not long ago, so my brain is not functioning right. Is still gonna happen, but technically it's not even needed. But you'll see why later, probably in one of these parts. But yeah, anyways, let's just get this started. So, we last left off with just basically Sasuke going back, turned into her, used the genjutsu she had, she turned it off, and yeah, then made someone to go train. Now, if you want to know what happened to Naruto when he found out his father is the fourth Hokage, that's where we're starting off. So, as soon as he hears it, he's like, You gotta be shitting me, right? My father's the fourth? Which Hiruzen goes like, yes. He's like, oh no, I told him too early. He goes like, so he just has a hollow chuckle, which that kind of surprises Hiruzen. Which he goes, so, I'm the fourth Hokage's son, and they treated his son like this. So tell me, Hiruzen, is it because of Iowa? His enemies will come after me? Or do you want something else out of me? Basically not telling me who my parents were. Which Hiruzen sighs, and then not sighs, he gets worried, but then sighs, and literally in this one, it's just because of Naruto basically being in danger because of Iowa. Basically the one basically from the land of Earth. So yeah. So anyways though, so that was the only reason why in this. Just want to put that. Which, technically speaking, he had a good reason for this one. They literally said that they were sending basically ninjas after to kill Minato, like 3 times a week. Which Hiruzen tells Naruto, which he just says, and if I was a baby, I would have been dead. Which he does not. He goes, okay, I understand your reasoning. I don't like it, but I understand it. And Iowa really doesn't like my dad. So, what am I going to do now? He goes, well, that's, you have it's not called a Kekai Genkai or Dojutsu, but it's something you have within you. That is not the nine-tailed fox. That's been passed down through your family for generations. Which, if you're wondering in the last video, I did make Donald say he wanted nothing to do with Naruto, but only help him, did not want Naruto to know he existed. Which Hiruzen still, but one of the conditions is also he tells Naruto about this burden, this curse. Which Naruto raises up an eyebrow. And basically, he says, you get it from a man called Guts. Which Naruto basically stops him. He goes, wait, Wait. So you mean Guts, the Black Swordsman, is my ancestor? Which hers goes, yes. And then she's like, wow, I had an ancestor that killed demons. Which Horizon never really knew demons really existed, so he's just like confused. So Naruto tells Horizon about the demons, and well, Horizon doesn't want to believe it, but at the exact same time, it's in the age before basically chakra, and well, that's the thing. Um, he can't really say nothing, but there have been some weird sightings of basically of fossils, basically, or bones that they have found in the basically Second War, basically that were not human at all. So, in a sense, he has no choice but to believe Naruto slightly on this. And he goes, so what's this, what's basically this burden slash curse? He goes, the will. The will? Your determination will to do everything you can to survive, to win, to fight. It basically drives you, and then Naruto goes like, basically remembers what Guts said. People sometimes thought he was a demon, even when he did not wear the berserk armor. So Naruto goes like, so that means I'll fight any way possible, ruthlessly and uncontrollably. Well, uncontrollable to basically someone, but to me, be controlled. Because I'm using it to push myself to my limits and basically to kill whoever basically I want dead. Which Hiruzen will not. This basically has been running your family for generations. Well, I did not know your father was a part of that family that had that. But they were fierce warriors. One became known as the Demon of the Wind for his wind style, basically techniques that he used that took down basically multiple ninjas and slaughtered a near battalion of people. Which, when Naruto was blinking, he goes, huh? And another, one that was heavily injured that would fight even till his brink in death and still keep going. These people who basically have this will, what we call the monsters amongst us. Truly monsters. Even though the tail beast existed, I think even one of them would fought tail beast would have been, well, still somehow considered a monster compared to it. Which Naruto just blinking was like, wow, my family sounds awesome. Which, based on Hiruzen thinking in his head, Danzo, you better just never tell Naruto who you are. Because if he finds out, I believe he would basically try to follow in your footsteps or something. So, yeah. Hiruzen's kind of a little bit worried now, but anyways. So he goes like, so I don't have any no more family members? Which, Hiruzen tells him the truth on this one. He goes, you do. But before you say anything or ask who they are, they do not want you to know who they are. Not because of what you hold in you, Naruto. It is because of what they have done in the past that they feel, well, ashamed of. Basically, they work for Konoha, and in their mind, they have basically does nothing basically that would want to you be around because they have betrayed you in more ways than one, they believe. Which Naruto was like, like what? Want me to become a weapon for Konoha? Like some of those civilian council members, or those two, or at least one of those basically advisors of yours? Which he nods. Which Naruto's eyes, why he's about to say something like those pieces of. But then Hiruzen says, but at the time he did not know you were even his, well, blood relation. Which he goes, huh? What do you mean? He just sighs again. He says, he thought basically all his family had died. And when that day happened, when his brother died, he became enraged and did what he did as Demon of the Wind. Which Naruto's eyes widened. Those ninjas who killed his brother died by his hands. And in the second war, it did not matter to him anymore if he loses his life or his limbs. Basically kind of less this, which he didn't. Which Naruto just nodding. So, in a sense though, Hiruzen kind of explains that because he had no family, he basically his emotions were nothing more than just that, emotions. They should be not, no ninja needed them, but for him and his burden, he had to control his emotions, make them even emotionless. Besides, he lost all reason to even care for some things anymore. Hold up. Okay, I should be good to talk now, but yeah. So, phone. Alright, pausing again. Okay, maybe I can continue. Okay, so like I was saying, basically, it's because of those actions that he has done after he wanted to get rid of his emotions, he's ashamed of. So, he will be helping you without your knowledge, or basically, in a sense, he'll be in your life without you ever knowing. Which, basically, this kind of shocks Naruto, but at the exact same time a little bit happy and upset. He just asks Gigi, what was made them so basically convinced that they would never think of accept them? He goes, well, your father was his nephew and you are his son. Your father's son, so basically holds the Nine Tails. I would say he's on basically my council, members in the room, but which Naruto nods. And then it basically goes like, and I should also tell you have basically a grandfather, basically, godfather, and a godmother. Your godmother, I do not know basically what happened to make her leave. By the way, it was not Danzo. It was basically Jiraiya. Yeah, I'm saying it was just Jiraiya in this one for basically wanted her to get away from Konoha so she can, be perfectly fine, which, dumb mistake. Well, it kind of fits because Jiraiya would do anything to help Tsunade, so yeah. So, in a sense, though, Naruto's like, okay, so what happened to make her leave? He just says, oh, she lost her brother and her basically lover, basically in the second war. Well, not second. Third war? No, second Shinobi War? Yeah. Which, he's like, huh? Basically, he kind of just explains, I kind of forget, it was like the first, second, but I know the third was with Minato was basically older. So, yeah, that's why I never say third war, but first, second, yeah, for Danzo, I think it was like, he was in the first war, but yeah, I know, because Tobirama would be around along with basically Hashirama. So yeah, no, for Danzo was in the first, Ninja War, and he's in life for two of them. Well, all three of them with. I messed up. I realized. Oops. Okay, but that's what I get for basically making a video when I'm still tired. Anyways, so yeah. Which Naruto will be like, okay, well, my godfather. That I do not know. I'll ask Kakashi about it. In which he goes, wherever my godfather is, better be having a really good reason why not to be around me. which basically, yeah, that they technically do, but it's also kind of like their normal thing because it fits for their character. So yeah, anyways. So basically Naruto's like, well, Gigi, I'm gonna get home, I need some sleep. He goes, Naruto, you'll be able to move into basically your father and mother's old home. Alright? But she was like, seriously? He goes, yes, after all. You should not be being able to pay that much money for your rent, or, well, your expenses, food. Let's just say, though, you don't have to worry about that no more. Because there's a lot of things that are changing around you, Naruto. And it's all because of basically you could say basically your uncle? He says, I think great uncle. It's kind of hard, basically. I think that's how it is, but if it's not, whatever. But yeah, which Naruto just not. So yeah, he goes home, he takes a nap, he goes to bed. Now then, the next day, basically Naruto is just stretching, and he basically goes and gets ramen. He's like, and I like this stuff. Even this gets tiring, but I'll do my other things I need to do before I leave. So yeah, so he basically eats. He basically goes train in his room for a bit, and then he goes does his takes a shower, brushes his teeth, and everything else. Now then, basically, meanwhile with Hiruzen, he's like, Kakashi. Basically Kakashi appears. He's like, yes, Lord Third. He goes, do you know who Naruto's godfather is? In which, basically, this shift in tone of Kakashi kind of, basically, not worries him, but just makes him like, what? How did I not know? He goes like, so you found out Lord Jiraiya was not his godfather. You finally open up that note. But she was like, yes. But do you know who his godfather is? He goes, of course I do. I'm his godfather. Which, basically, that shocks Hiruzen. Which goes like, but then what you never, goes, the council basically would never allow me to take him in. Besides, they would think, could say is like this. Oh, why would one of the fourth students take in a boy that has no relation to the fourth, unless he does? Secondly, I basically need to protect Naruto in the outside of these walls for a time. And then when I stopped doing those missions, I took up guarding him on every shift. The fact is, though, there was always another squad before me by the council to watch over him to where he could get hurt. Or when it was our time, when they leave, my squad always has to take care of the villagers. Which basically Hiruzen just shocked. He was like, look, Lord Third. I know Naruto would probably think I was not being a good godfather because I wasn't there for him. Which I technically wasn't due to my... I couldn't go near him because of Minato Sensei. Which basically Hiruzen be like, is because you thought him like a father? Which he goes, that until he asked me if I wanted to be, his son's godfather. Which I was shocked. And then basically after that, though, I started considering him like my brother. And Kushina like my older sister. So it was still hard for me to look at Naruto from time to time, even when I was in Anbu. Which, basically, yeah, Hiruzen does not slowly. So, he goes, Naruto knows about his father and his mother already. Which he does, which basically, Kakashi would not say, I figure as much, and he may accidentally slip up. Which has a chuckle. So, I want you to help him move into basically his new home. And this is a mission for Team 7 by me, the Hokage. Alright? Which he does not. So he basically body flickers away. And so Hiruzen cannot believe Kakashi was Minato's choice for a godfather for Naruto. It seemed basically Minato, he thinks to himself, had a very, very understanding of things that were going around him that were, well, might have been basically not even to his eye to notice. But he still looks out the window and was like, you'll be proud of him, your grandson, old friend. He's one amazing, basically, ninja. So yeah, so basically, Naruto basically meets at the training grounds that he goes at for his team. He sees Sasuke training, Sakura just watching Sasuke. So Naruto basically cracks his neck, and he's like, can't get this creak out of my neck. It's annoying, but whatever. So, I wanted to also mention this. The Nine Tails know all the tail beasts, including the Jubi knew about demons. So, I just want to point that out. So, they know about demons as existed beforehand, and they knew about but the Jubi never really found out about, the legend of Guts. But, I want to say it's the Sage of Six Paths did. And I'll explain more later. Okay, sorry, I don't know, this always happens. This is why I make videos at night. I lost power. I tried to make part 2, by the way, from what, probably should mention this. But because of basically the power outage I had briefly for the night, the video got corrupted. So technically this is a redo, but anyways, yeah. Okay, so basically, like I was saying, the Sage of Six Paths knew and told all the tail beasts about the demons. And basically about, well, Guts and his adventure. Basically, since Guts finally killed Griffin, he was able to die and go to his, well, whatever his basically moments were, wherever he's going to go. But we do know basically since he was branded, demons go after him. He's a beacon for darkness. Yeah, it still would have gone to basically the berserk version of HELL. Actually, you know what? I don't think no one really watches it that basically is over, that is younger of my videos, so went to hell. Yeah. So, in a sense, though, so basically the tail beasts know about the legends and basically the berserk armor. So, what's your thinking of basically the reaction of basically Kurama? Easy. Kurama is actually very impressed that the boy is basically even able to wear it, but even found out that his ancestor is Guts himself. That kind of gave him respect, and they say that he was willing to basically do what he did on the bridge. It's just, yeah, the whole entire loudmouth idiot that he knew, that he thought he knew, was a lie, that he was able to even trick him, the great nine-tailed fox. So, yeah. So, basically, meanwhile, Naruto's head, or basically in the seal, Kurama was just chuckling. He goes, man, I thought I'd figure out this puny mortal easily, but to be honest, him even be able to trick me is actually quite amusing. And what he's able to do, even with this armor now, maybe me and him could get along just fine. So yeah, he's actually watching, Naruto's life now, because he's interested in it. So, what happens now is basically we go back to when he's at the training field, which Sasuke sees him, and he's like, Naruto. Which he's like, Tem? What's up? Which Sasuke's like, so, everything alright with you? He goes, just got this creak in my neck. But that's nothing new with my mattress. He goes, huh. Say, is there anything I guess I can help you with it? He was like, maybe my taijutsu? Why are you being so helpful, Tem? Which Sasuke basically makes an excuse, basically because I just want you don't want me to drag me down. That's all. Besides, you didn't finish your tree walking, so... Which Naruto was actually thinking about that. He goes like, well, my chakra control has always been abysmal, but he says, multi-shot clone jutsu. Which basically multiple clones of Naruto. They basically, grab kunais and just start going to trees and working on them. He was like, that's all taken care of. Which Sasuke and Sakura are just very confused. He was like, my jutsu is called, Kaje Bunshin, or multi-shadow clone jutsu, or shadow clone jutsu because it basically uses a lot more chakra than the regular clones. That's the reason why they're solid. It's mainly also another reason why is because of the chakra usage. Basically, I get to actually even have a memory flashes of them experience. So I basically can increase my chakra control and my chakra reserves very much faster than normal. In which Sasuke's actually happy on the inside for Naruto find a way to go, past the learning curve that he was given in the, in the school. Which Sakura's just blinking that Naruto's actually, can actually say that and actually explain it so fluently. So, which basically Sasuke, or Sasuke in her male form, smirks, and she goes, so, by the way, I heard basically you called Sakura useless. He goes, yeah, she's always been useless, from the very beginning. Then he just raises an eyebrow and goes, then why did you like her? Which she goes, meh, trying to keep the appearance and the act up. I mean, who would basically want to basically think a go-lucky, happy, and basically goofball and idiot would actually be smart? Which she basically Sasuke nods and goes like, and the whole time liking her thing, goes like, yeah, she has potential, but she's wasting it being a fangirl on you. So, yeah. And two, she hits me, and I've been wanting to rip off her arms for a while because of it. Besides, I did actually like her because of her personality and intelligence. Which Sasuke basically inside is like, wait, what? No. And that's want to know what he liked about her. Which basically Sasuke crosses his arms with like, why do you even like her? Anything about her? Which Sakura's even wondering too. He goes like, one, she's a kind person. She's willing to help out people. Maybe a little bit selfish at times, or nearly all the time. But she's actually willing to basically put her trust in others. Basically, very easily. And besides, if she gets put in the right direction, she's a hard worker. Her chakra control is great, but without any knowledge of jutsus or such, she's horrible in any situation of combat. So I kind of basically felt some instinct in me to basically protect her at all costs. But that all flew out the dream. Basically, when she said she wanted me to die, basically like her mother or the villagers. So, in truth, I don't ever care for her no more. Which Sasuke was like, you liked her because of that? He was like, well, there was also some moments when we were basically a kid where I may or may not have saved her once. And then we were friends for at least a day. And then she stopped even talk to me and actually hated me. But that's alright. Glad I didn't get to know her better. Have, basically it would have gone south real quick. Yeah, which Sakura's hearing all this is in shock that he generally liked her for those reasons, which he pointed out her good flaws, but then some of her bad. But now she has a flashback of her mother, which she's coming back from, when Sakura got back home. Basically, she sees her mom, on the table, just sighing relief, basically still. She goes, Mom, what's wrong? Basically, she goes, oh, Sakura, you're home. Well, basically, the Hokage called us, and a lot of the council members were being taken away by Anbu. Turns out some have betrayed, basically, the village, and has treated, basically, your teammate Naruto badly. In which, basically, Sakura's eyes blinking. He was like, "Mom, don't you always tell me never to associate with him, or you just call him basically a demon?" Which she goes, "Yes. But in truth, I do consider him a demon at first until I saw him helping you out basically with those bullies when you were a kid. Along with basically Ino, and I may have jumped into conclusions way too quickly just because of my position. I told you never to be friends with him. Along with basically, just keeping away from him at all costs." Which, she goes, "So, you actually don't hate Naruto?" She goes, "No. I mean, after I told you all that, I took a couple of days to think about it, and I decided to watch Naruto from a distance, whenever he was out. Such a sweet boy, very kind. And, well, likes to do pranks, yes, but just to get attention. He's very lonely." So, she goes, basically she says, "I wish you could be friends with him now if I basically didn't say those things back then. Along with, basically maybe you should, since you keep on telling me he always asks you out, maybe you should go on a date with him to see how he truly is." In which Sakura basically look away from her. She goes, "Sakura, what did you do?" Because mother, no intuition. In which she tells her what she said to Naruto, Sakura, I mean. And how Sasuke and basically Kakashi was. Which surprised her because hold up. Alright, so after Sakura says that to her mom, what she said to to Naruto, her mom just looks at her and blinks and just sighs. I always knew that boy was hiding something. Which, basically, Sakura's just blinking, hiding what? I mean, you basically just telling what he said, but the boy basically, or Naruto would have been hiding his... Yeah, you hear my dog barking. She's a loud doggy, but she's adorable, but anyways. Basically, though, she was... Sakura's mom's like, "Tell me what else." So she explained the whole time mission in general, which her mother isn't shocked by Naruto's wanting to do that, and they say about how he basically killed 3 people just to kill her 10 just because they were attacking his friend, and how basically he tried to save her. Yeah, she's not scared of Naruto, but somewhat proud of him for basically doing that. Which Sakura's confused, which her mom says, "Sakura, you just may have lost out a chance that you can never get back. Be prepared for that, alright?" Which she's like, "Huh? What do you mean?" And when she says nothing more. So yeah. So in a sense, Sakura's confused but shrugs it off. Now, back to the present. She's basically looking at Naruto and Sasuke talking, and then Kakashi appears. Which is like, "Hello, my cute little students. We have a mission." Which Naruto's like, "Great, let me guess. Babysitting, taking out the dogs. Have out the Inuzukas with the kennels. Seriously, those places smell nasty. Ugh. Good thing I don't have super smell. Well, my enhanced senses. Yeah, it's a good thing I don't have enhanced senses." Which Kakashi goes like, "Oh, no. We're here to help out my godson." Which basically that shocked Kakashi. Well, when Kakashi just said that, basically made Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke all blink as Naruto does release. Nothing. Even clones were shouting that out. Which, you're like, you were joking, right? You have a godson? He goes, "Yes, he's very hyperactive, knuckleheaded, and very, 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 very easily to anger, and he hates this village very much." Which Naruto's like, "What type of godson do you even..." As then he stops and be like, "You're my godfather, aren't you?" Which goes, "Yep, and before you even say anything, I'll explain everything on the way to your apartment. We're moving you into your father's home." Which he says with a smile. underneath the mask. Which Naruto's like, oh, you better, or I am. And then he just literally grabs the sword, which Kakashi goes like, meh, that's alright with me. Like, Naruto's like, you don't take nothing seriously. He goes like, oh no, if you, I have to, but to be fair, you have a sword, I have a kunai, and basically you have something called a berserk armor that can enhance everything on you. And you have something else, which, do you think I am basically stupid enough not to explain? Which Naruto thinks about it and be like, fair point. So yeah. So, Naruto basically, hold up. Alright everyone, sorry, just my dad asked me to do something. He's asked me to grab something from outside, so that's what I'm doing. So, I'll just continue this on, and then I will, So, along the way, Kakashi, will tell, basically, Naruto, that we are moving everything into your new home due to your circumstances, which Naruto would not. He'd be like, finally, I get away from that shitty apartment owner. He's been starting to kick me out if I don't basically pay his monthly rent. First, it was only basically like so much basically a Ryu, then it was like double that amount, and then it went to triple the amount. Which Kakashi is like, yes, the third Hokage found out due to, I basically read the report before coming to you guys. But yeah, now I have to go grab it, everyone. So, give me a minute. Okay, so yeah. Which Naruto, basically after it says that, Kakashi gets a little irritated. And then, basically Naruto goes like, so, why were you not around for most of my life? Which, basically Kakashi says, well, that ain't really true. Which Naruto's eyes, basically blink, and then he raises an eyebrow. So he kind of explains his time in Anbu, which everyone was shocked by it. But Naruto actually figured as much since you're really strong. But Kakashi says, oh no, I became relaxed when out my time of Anbu, and I should really get it basically back into shape. But he would then go on to explain how he was gone for multiple missions, basically for a couple of years while Naruto was a baby. Then when Naruto was 4, he offered himself on a guard duty to protect him, and to basically, always be there. Wait, hold up. I don't know if my dad's gonna hit my door or not. So, okay, sorry about that. Anyways, though, yeah, I was saying Kakashi basically telling him his time in Anbu, and then he offered to basically be in his, one in the guard cells, since basically was to protect him. But then Naruto's like, wait, how many were there? Like, he says, oh, there were 4. One of them, though, that always got basically first shift was a guard who was always basically, I think, on the council side, or on their payroll. Which Naruto just blinks and he goes like, of course, civilians. Which he nods. So they're basically getting back into the village, but he says, but my team, they never hated you. All they saw was a boy that just wanted attention and love. Which he goes, that's good to know. So at least there are some demons in this village that actually are nice. Which some people heard Naruto say that, which they're just blinking. Which Sasuke goes like, to be fair, it makes sense why you would call them that if your life was really hard, Naruto. Which he goes, hard? Is borderline basically torture. But you learn to survive with it, you learn to survive. Which Kakashi just sighs, and we're like, yes, unfortunately for you. Basically, though, he said, oh, so, how do you like my gifts every single birthday you got them? Which he goes, oh, you mean that basically a weird, thing you did with the Shanshin with the leaves and such that was always around the present? Which he nods. He goes, it was always enjoyable. But why did you give me basically a book on kunai throwing? He goes, oh, well, because you needed it at the time, and 2, I also gave you a set of kunai so you can practice throwing them. He was like, yeah, they helped. I mean, was wondering. He goes, what? I can't help my godson out with his training and basically when he was in the academy? He goes, training. Yeah. Which he just, yeah, that is like, when I found out basically your academy was stunted, learning, I, well, I was furious. He goes, well, you can help me out with that based on special training match so I can catch up with everyone. Which, basically before Kakashi even says anything, Sasuke says, and I can help you with that too then. Which he has a smirk on him, which Naruto just looking at Sasuke with a raised eyebrow, goes like, what, can't I help out my teammate? Besides, your birthday. He goes, October 10th. Which Sasuke blinks and he was like, basically all of a sudden just a paper and pencil came out of nowhere, be like, what do you want for presents? He goes, huh? Which stops, he was like, what? I owe you presents. Which he's like, the heck? And Sasuke's like, yeah, after all, you're my best friend, I didn't even know it was your birthday, so I owe you a lot of presents. And besides, my cousin would basically, who was your friend, would probably be mad at me I never got you presents, so... Which is like, I guess some jutsus, basically new, so better like equipment for training, and a basically kenjutsu style, plus basically, I know about seals, so probably like next level of seals, which I only read enough to know about seals easily. It's only basically the general knowledge of them. So I guess beginner to basically intermediate level basically seals. Which when Naruto says that, he just sees Sasuke just writing it all down. He was like, Basically, he was like, he was like, I may also buy you some accessories for your new look. He's like, huh? Yeah. No offense, you kind of look like you're just, I don't know, a rogue ninja from another place. He goes, okay. Basically, he's thinking, Sasuke's acting weird. And him taking out a notepad and pencil, I think it's a flashback of basically his old friend. Basically doing that. Basically, what they, which he basically nods his head, shake his head like, no, it can't be. But if it is, then why is she acting like a guy? Basically, though, he kind of is like, trying to remember. He goes, hey, Sasuke, is your cousin's parents overprotective? Which Sasuke, kind of thinks of how she said it. He was like, they were somewhat, but after their attack that she had, her father became really overprotective of her. So that's why they left. Which Naruto's basically thinking, or if it was, or basically his father was Fugake, her father was Fugaku Uchiha, then he would basically put figure out how to use a genjutsu or something. I need to figure this out. So he's basically in a thinking mode, with Sakura just blinking, just looking between Sasuke and Naruto, which Kakashi thinks, oh, Sasuke, you've done it now. But he'll figure out it later. So, basically, they get to Naruto's apartment, and Sasuke's like, this is your apartment? He goes, yep, home sweet home. Ugh. Right when they say that happens, the landlord comes out, and basically, looking basically forward, he sees Naruto, but with his team, and he goes, oi, brat, why are you here for, why is your team out here? I didn't basically have a mission. He goes, we're here to get my stuff. He goes, good. Basically, finally I can actually get some people here so I can actually start paying basically for utilities better and repairs. Which Naruto rolls his eyes, like, oh, you mean this old rundown place? Yeah, it's not because of me, it's because you're basically spending him in gambling debts that you owe. He goes, how did you, he goes, you really think How else do you think I got some of my money payments? It was kind of easy, basically. You went in a couple of games, which he's like, you, which Sakura and Sasuke and Kakashi looks, but Kakashi basically remembers one ninja, well, basically night shift he had. He saw Naruto went to a gambling hall and came out with a lot of Ryu, which he goes, I mean, kind of was funny how you even offer basically almost the lease of this place just to basically beat me in. I was underneath a hedge though at the time. But she's like, you. He goes, hey, you said I always get your money. You never said how. Which he goes like, how did you always win? You know what happens when basically you were in that basically gambling hall? You were known as the unbeatable. No one can ever beat you and win it. Meh, the devil's luck. You can say. Which, just hold up. Alright, so basically, like I said, the line was like, you. He goes, anyways, we're gonna be getting my stuff out of here, and then I'm gonna be, moving. So, have fun. So Naruto basically goes up, which Kakashi just slightly chuckles, and basically says, his mother always had that luck. Which Sasuke basically doesn't even care, but glares at the landowner, which Sakura just following Sasuke and Kakashi and Naruto. But, thinking, Naruto gambled and win? Is he that lucky? So in a sense, when they get to his apartment, the door was open. Which Naruto goes, oh, fun, he must have let them in. Which he goes, huh? Naruto literally just goes in, already has his sword out. He basically sees, some people, already trashing his place, and then his kill intent basically shots up. He goes, oi, civilians. Which, basically, these were the, people that think they can get away with it, no matter what. They don't know the civilian council is, So they look, they're like, oh, it's the demon brat. In which one of them says, he was like, this is basically destroying Ninja of Konoha's property. And you know what that means? He goes, you can't do anything. The civilian council will protect us. But then Kakashi comes in and goes, actually, they won't. There's only two there are now is basically the one who basically the Higurashi shop and one of my students' mother. The rest of them aren't around. Which all of a sudden their eyes widen, their face goes pale. It's only like 4. So Naruto goes like, so that's what that means. He goes, huh? You're dead. Punishable by death. Besides, any mention of it as breaking the law, it's time for someone to actually fulfill that, basically. Which, their eyes widen because the last thing they hear is, finally keep that law in check. And he cuts them down. 3 at once. The last one, basically, Naruto stops because he sees basically his stuff in the guy's hand, but in a bag that usually is always hidden behind his fridge. Valuable stuff. Which is like, you're the one who's been hiding that? Which this civilian nods very quickly, which is, female. Which goes, what the? He basically, gets rid of the blood off. He goes like, so, let me guess. She basically like, you're just trying to make favors so I don't kill you at the moment? Or, she's like, no, I've not been like them. I know the difference between a kunai and a scroll. And anytime basically this group comes here, I usually hide anything that's basically valuable. I can't get everything, but enough basically just in case you can sell it for, extra Ryu, so you can basically, get this place repaired, or more things fixed. So Naruto just looks at her and blinks. He was like, he doesn't know what to think. Which Kakashi pats him on the head, be like, well, you don't have to worry, since he's going to be in a place that's going to be very secured, and thank you for looking out for him. She would nod. He goes like, actually, he saved me back when I was, a couple of years back, which Naruto's just blinking. He goes, when was this? I think when you were 6? he's just thinking for a moment. He goes like, "Oh, you were that girl with that bastard of a boyfriend that slapped you and was about to do something to you." She nods. "But thanks to you, I met basically my wonderful husband at the moment, and I have a basically nice, basically I even have a child with him." Which he does smile at that. He goes, "Wait, does your husband?" She nods, "No. My husband's basically never hated you. He's a ninja. And he's actually one of those people that actually respects you." Which she's like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, but he gets bored of his job at guard duty at the gate," which she's like, "Wait, the forever Chunins? The ones that basically always guard the gate?" He goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm not gonna ask who, but lucky for him." She goes, "Yep. But anyways, though, here." Basically, then he looks, he goes, "Wait, there's a couple of Ryus in here. You covered bills. Why is that?" She basically goes, "Well, my husband and me basically, work at some extra jobs, and basically this is the money basically we wanted to help you out with just in case, because we heard about basically your expenses for your apartment rent was big." Which he's just blinking, he's like, wow, I guess there's only a few good people here. And there's a lot more demons." Which, basically, she would blink, which Kakashi says he's been hiding his true self for a very long time. He doesn't consider the people of Konoha people. Which she would not understanding. Which she just says, "I'm sorry to hear that you don't think people as people no more, Naruto. But hopefully I can, well, basically try to become one of those people that you actually would be willing to protect." Which she leaves. But before she leaves though, she looks at one of the bodies with a shocked face and kicks the face of that person. And she spits at him and just walks away. Which, he goes, "Heh, I like her already." Which Kakashi chuckles at that. So, in a sense, he basically, summons out, a, dog. Basically, Paku gets basically an Ambu cleanup crew here. So they, when they come, they basically just see the dead, civilians. They ask who did it, and Kakashi basically comes out and says, "Oh, it was Naruto," which is basically Cat, Sparrow, and Dolphin. No, not Dolphin. Basically, Mantis, whatever. So yeah, which that shocked them. Which Naruto didn't have really much stuff, but they still, packed everything into scrolls and such. And he basically revealed some cash he had, which was not a very big amount. But this is technically his cash that he gets from his, going to the gambling and winning. He goes, gotta go back to that hall. They don't really remind me there since I only play like at least 4 games at least and win a lot. Which Sasuke looks at him and kind of clenches his fist because, Sasuke's basically saying, "How can Naruto ever live like this? Was he so blind to not know her best friend was in danger or in trouble or any time in need?" So, yeah, Sakura just can't believe it. So anyways, they get to Naruto's new home, his parents' home, which he basically like, "Wow, nice little place." Which Kakashi nods and basically goes, "Also, they already had a room for me prepared before you were born, just so I could basically help you whenever, they needed me. To basically watch over you and such. So I'm moving in with you." And besides, there's enough room here for everyone to live in if you want. Which Sasuke actually literally was like, "Don't say yes, don't say nothing, not yet. Even though you want to." Which, she doesn't say nothing, which Naruto was like, so it's up to them, I don't really care. Anyways, that should be enough for my clones, as basically he makes a clone, basically it poofs, and the other clones go in by twos, and then, Naruto basically, they master tree walking. which, yep, helped him out. Anyways, so Naruto's like, well, seems like they very got used to tree walking very easily. Which Kakashi just blinks. He was like, oh yes, the clone's over there. We haven't taken a while. He goes, yeah. Anyways, so they go and, go into Naruto's new home. Basically find a room, unpack everything, and, put it in there. Kakashi said he already has his stuff moved in anyways. But Team 7 mission is done. Let's go put this into the, records hall. So yeah. But meanwhile, a basically rift is happening. A portal is opening basically. As it's on top of a tree. As basically what comes out of it is a female with wings on her back. Basically flowing red hair. But then it turns into basically black. Well, some black strands go into it. So it's basically red and black. And basically, basically a body that basically any man in this world would try to go after or just, make as their wife. Basically, and, well, basically, she's also wearing basically a outfit that's, what would you see from basically what her kind is, but I'm not going to say yet. So, basically, though it's black and it's covering up a good decent amount of skin, but still. But yeah, so she lands on a tree, she goes, now, since it took me a while to get here, where is that signal coming from, that soul? She basically closes her eyes, which are basically crimson color. And then she opens them, she goes, there you are, but, well, it looks like basically you're in a good mood. She basically smiles, like a little joy in her, on her face. She goes, someone with your soul does not need no, basically, anger or anguish, but there's always so much in there. So she disappears, though. But basically we can hear on the wind be like, just wait till I come, basically, she says, darling. Yeah. Basically, you guys can figure it out what type of demon this is. Anyways, so, yeah. When they return the mission, they get their pay, and, Kakashi basically tells them, though, right here and now, that the Chunin exams are coming up, and they basically have to train for it. So their training is going to be a little bit difficult. Especially Naruto's, because he's going to be training his tactics, his fighting style, and whatever else. So, basically, Naruto nods. So that's what happens for the past, basically, month. They trained. They basically take on a little bit of C-rank, well, not C-rank missions, D-rank, I mean, not D, D-rank missions. And, well, Naruto improved a lot. Sasuke basically gave him his presents, which he was actually kind of shocked. And basically, though, he actually saw Sasuke had a slight little blush, but then, something happened where he was basically starting to see through something, which, basically he thinks he was just seeing an image of what he thought his friend would look like if she was older, which he's like, Sasuke? What, Sasuke? Which, she's basically, Sasuke just blinking, and he goes, dope, you alright? He goes, sorry, it's just, I thought I saw my friend for a minute. You guys look somewhat alike. Which Sasuke just kind of looks a little bit sad, and he goes like, you miss her a lot, don't you? He nods. He goes, yeah. Who's the first friend? Kinda hurts, Which Sasuke, does the unexpected and hugs Naruto. And just tells him it's gonna be alright. She's always with you, so don't worry. Which Naruto can't help but basically have his heart beat, fast, and he's like, yeah. Thanks. He goes, no problem. Basically, though, Sasuke was like, hey, Naruto, if somehow in some way, if she ever came back, would you ever forgive her? Which Naruto was like, forgive her for what? For abandoning you. Naruto basically looks at him, blinks, and just says, she never abandoned me. She had no choice in any of the matter, so I won't blame her for anything. In which Sasuke's blinking and actually smiles at him and goes, thanks for telling me that, Naruto. See ya! And just left. But Naruto basically, kind of looks basically with a nostalgia look on his face. He goes, thanks, Sasuke. I, glad to see you're alive. Yeah, basically, during these past couple months, Naruto looked into Fugaku. And basically, he may or may not have broken into the Uchiha compound and found out the truth. And he's just not saying anything yet. So yes, Naruto knows Sasuke is really Sasuke, and that she's been under a genjutsu, basically because of, Fugaku was overprotective, and literally did not say never to basically talk to Naruto, or try to get to be friends with him still, but just for her own protection, don't, be around him as much. So when basically and even found basically Fugaku was angry at himself for saying that, because now, his daughter basically is, always looking upset for never talking to him. And always, basically even afraid to basically go up and basically look like a guy. Basically, she didn't know what he'll think. Basically, even says in basically the book, or basically, basically his journal, saying, I should have told Naruto this. I was a fool. But the elder Uchihas want to have this coup happened, so I can't really have them basically. They want basically Sasuke to basically get to know Naruto, to use him to her advantage in the future as her little basically weapon. How dare they basically think of Naruto like that? But my daughter basically made her very first friend that didn't care if she was a Uchiha or not. I will not basically allow this to happen. I just hope Naruto could forgive my actions. Which basically, Naruto was shocked and then a little bit upset, but happy that someone like Fugaku Uchiha thought of him like this. He was genuinely happy, knowing that his best friend was alive, but also angry at himself for not realizing it sooner because she's been hurting. So, yeah. So anyways, though, the time for the Chunin exams happened. And that's basically, though, we're going to technically leave it off because I'm basically going to upload this and I want to basically upload quick. So yeah. Alright, everyone. Good day. And then basically I'll make another video to probably this afternoon or something. Or whatever. Anyways, bye everyone. Have a nice day, night, wherever you are. And bye.